Okay, so yesterday was probably one of the worst days I've had in a while. I'll spiral sometimes. I'll just get really bad out of nowhere, and maybe it's just lack of human interaction or whatever that causes it. It's just it just sometimes gets that way. And luckily today was somewhat better. I called in to my doctor and I'm getting a prescription refilled for the medication that I'm on. That's working somewhat well. And we're calling a family physician that we've known personally through other family members who have gone through something like I have, and she's hopefully going to be able to help me. So I'm hoping that will have some sort of effect on what's happening. I sort of let everything out last night, and it's not that I feel really any different, or I guess I just feel somewhat less miserable right now. That's just the way it goes. I mean, tomorrow I'll call the doctor. I gotta get into a new psychiatrist. That's what we're gonna do when I go to the physician. Is I'm gonna have her try to introduce me to somebody new. Try to get me enrolled with somebody. And honestly, I'm sort of scared of what they're gonna do, because I've never been this bad in my life before. So if I tell them what I'm truly feeling, they'll probably put me in the hospital or something. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes, Had a couple people talk to me today, which was good. But I think the number one thing that I need to work on is being okay with being alone and not needing anybody else, and living comfortably by myself and not having that urge to talk to somebody else, or that urge to, just that physical and emotional need for somebody. If I could live without that, I could be content. And I think that's what I need. And I think part of me has always been holding out on the girl that I've really cared about for a long time. You always think that they're gonna come back after you fight, and you always wish they do, but sometimes they don't, and that's just for the better. Because at this point, I've literally been at my worst, and this isn't a this isn't like a diss or ill will towards anybody, but I've been to the bottom, literally, just the worst I've ever felt, and the worst I can physically get without literally hurting myself, or worse. And I've done it with nobody but my parents. So I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't need anybody now. If you aren't gonna be there, and I know there are people that have been, I get that, but to the people that weren't, I'm done with you. I don't need you anymore. I've been there, I've done it without you, and now you're no longer part of my life, and that's definite at this point. There's no coming back from that. So now that I've come to grips with that, now that I've fully emotionally understood that there are people that I'm never gonna see again in my life, I can move on. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. Hopefully that will put me in a place to where I don't have to worry about other people anymore, to where I could just relax, and to where I can just start to focus more on myself and getting better myself. I've decided that when I'm not in school, I'm just gonna be at home by myself doing things that make me happy, and I don't have the emotional stability or the willpower, nor do I care about really anybody else at this point. And I respect and I thank everybody that's actually cared about me, and I'll never take that for granted. But I just need to be on my own, and that's what this is. Like, I'm literally just talking to a camera, but it makes me feel better. So, you know, if I don't have that need every 5 minutes to talk to somebody, and I could just be fine being alone, I mean, what is there to worry about? That part of my life, that one thing that was making me feel bad, just that one small aspect of the overall picture is now gone. It's over with, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's a great feeling. And I've made that transition overnight to just snap and say, you know what, fuck it. I'm done. I'm done with dealing with other people. I should work on myself, and I think that's a good thing. And now it's time to work on the other aspects, the other really large aspects, and that's what therapy is going to do for me. And maybe that's what school's going to do for me. I mean, it'll take my mind off of things. I mean, I have 2 psychology classes. I have an English class. I have a government class. I mean, those things are going to take up time, and hopefully I'll enjoy those. And those 2 days that I go to school, hopefully that's enough human interaction to where I don't need to be around anybody else for the rest of the week. You know, it's Wednesday night, I go tomorrow, and then I get off at 2 p.m. and then 2:15 p.m. and from 3 p.m. Thursday to 8:30 Tuesday, I will literally not be interacting with anybody else. It's just going to be in a meditative state, me, myself, and I, and just finally looking at the things and taking the things seriously that I need to take seriously. I can finally say that, I don't have to worry about anybody else. And now this is the hard part. Trying to get over the hump that my personal inquiries, my personal fears, my personal beliefs. This is going to be the hard part, getting over that stuff. Finally finding a balance to where I can be happy. And hopefully medication and therapy will do that. And if it doesn't, I don't know what is. Because this is the most drastic measures that I've ever taken. And it can't get worse than this. It can't. It literally can't. I wouldn't be here if it was worse than this. So, that's where I am right now. Those are my thoughts on everything. And if I feel differently tomorrow, I feel differently tomorrow, but that's how I am today. So